I know. We are live. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Kris Cahill from The Art of Being Psychic, and I have with me today Ryan Fukuda and Kate Cardon. And they are my psychic colleagues who I love doing live Substacks with. We're going to be talking about something that's pretty important to all of us, and I'm sure to you as well. But it's also very timely, and it's actually for each of us very timely right now. And that is talking about endings, completing, finishing, ending something, coming to the end of a process, a project, a way of being. I don't know, I could go on, but anyway, I'll just briefly state that for the three of us and for some other colleagues we are coming to the end of a years in the making long journey and wonderful adventure and creation that has been the psychic school that we've all been part of. We all met when we still had a brick and mortar live in-house, in-person psychic school called Portland Psychic School in Portland, Oregon. And then we closed that and then started another school called the Art of the Seer Academy, which was pretty much online mostly, though some of the teachers went out and did and still do different live classes and so on. But right now, I mean, this month, May, is the completion of the Art of the Seer. We decided months back. Actually, the director and creator of the Art of the Seer, William Fitzroy, decided it was done. It was time, and we were all in agreement. We are completing a clairvoyant class training with a group of people, and we're each going to still be working together and also working with people, individually that we know. But really, we're coming to the end this month, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, yeah, that is a big deal. I think one of the things right away I want to talk about is all of the kind of initial things, that even when you're talking about that, all sort of the emotional aspects of endings and the body aspect of endings. I think those are some of the things that I feel like over the years, I feel like has been something that I personally have sort of suppressed in some ways, or kind of was a little bit more just in observance of it versus having the experience. And so it's actually been great over the last so many months to just be in all the different emotions with endings. I think a lot of people, um, including myself, avoid those things or kind of like look away from it and just like, okay, let's get to the next thing kind of thing. So it's been nice to really like kind of move through an ending experience that is all different levels of like emotion, physical, spiritual, all of it. That's kind of what I wanted to start with. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Ryan. Well, and I was thinking about like, I don't think as a society, I don't think that I think that we're kind of programmed to not let things go or to like cling on to things. And I was thinking about that, like when we get fearful, we cling on to things, right? And so I think that emotional aspect of it is really important because that is one of our first like kind of I think it's like how we've been programmed, right? We've been programmed to cling when we get scared or when we're unsure. And so I think letting go is really hard for people and like allowing endings to happen, you know. That's but what you said about the ending that we're all in together, it has been very conscious, which I think is helpful, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I know we were talking about this earlier. We when we do a live Substack, we tend to meet beforehand and look at the energy and maybe exchange a little reading and chat and laugh and all that. But we
Hmm.
were talking about it's just so pleasurable to work with people and to make a conscious agreement that we're going to change this. We're going to
Hmm.
end something this way. Um, what is that expression? Conscious uncoupling? I can't remember. But somebody came up with a while ago. It cracks me up. But what we're doing is we're like, yes, this particular thing we're all done putting our energy into, rather than making it wrong or anyone else wrong. You know, let's what do we want to do instead with our energy? Because it takes so much energy to really have something work and to create it.
Yeah.
Well, Reminds me
I'm
of
sitting.
I
I'm
know, well,
yeah,
it
yeah.
reminds me of, like, what we were talking about a little bit before, where, like, when you end something, you get to see what you actually want next, right? It opens up that door for your creativity or for what you want to do next. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll continue on with kind of what I was saying too, kind of sitting with that and um, as we consciously uncouple in many ways, it's like what I've been noticing is it's been opening up this door of like creative possibility and just new things, right? Like when there's an ending, that cycle of ending, and then like new beginnings, right? And again, I do want to continue to say that like I'm so used to just wanting to know what the next thing is in endings, right? I just want to skip the credits and go right to the next movie, right? But it's like this process has been something where I don't know. There's been all this raw creativity, right? For me at least, and like I want to do something with it, but I'm just kind of letting it sit. Yeah, I'm just letting it sit there and just like grow more and more. And I feel like maybe this is even the first time I've actually enjoyed an ending, like enjoyed the process of an ending, even though again it's been up and down, up and down, up and down, right? But like it also brings that sense of like hope and possibility, right? Of the next step, but also being in the present, being in the ending kind of thing for me. I don't know. I just keep talking a
Well, I
little bit
get
more
that.
about that. Yeah, yeah.
I get that. And also, I mean, the thing, and I think you both said this so far, how hard it is to just be empty. And I mean, how many times have you guys, as clairvoyant readers and people you've given readings to, seen that that was actually the thing the person would be benefiting themselves to do is just let themselves be empty, be still for a minute.
Yep.
And yet when we go to practice that, it's not easy.
Mm-mm, not at
You know, I
all.
mean, it's like when you look at the seasons. I mean, in the middle of the winter, I'm a gardener. I'm like such a nerd about my garden. Middle of the winter, I know I can't go out and put seeds in that ground. Like, forget it. And but myself, I'm like, okay, it's time for the next thing. Let's go. And I'm like, no, we have to we have to be still for a minute.
Hmm.
Sit down.
Yeah, I think over the years too, I think, we do teach about endings all the time, right? Endings like in terms of um like that cycle of creation and destruction, but also this idea even like, we teach something like at New Year's time, right? Like there's you end something and then you're kind of creating space for the new to come in kind of thing. But we really are intentional about like as clairvoyants to really look at, okay, this is what happened, and we're creating space to sort of move into what's next at
Yeah.
whatever pace, at your own pace, really. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it?
It's funny, it's like the ultimate test of like, all right, this is what we've been studying, so now let's practice it, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
Mm-hmm.
that always the thing? I mean, eventually you're going to have to practice the thing you've been teaching for years.
Yes.
And we have all along, to be fair. I
Oh, for
mean,
sure.
Yeah.
I know, and I've seen it in my everybody around me and a lot of students too. It's like we're doing it, but
Yeah.
it's really fun too because so many people, and actually, this is something I want to bring up. We were chatting about this a little bit too. When you're involved as a person who's kind of maybe holding a space together for other people to come into, and then you start to, it's time for that space to be complete or to be done. It then there's the also the sadness, the grief, or the
Mm-hmm.
whatever that others might be experiencing because the space won't be there, and that's just it, because like everything is temporary, and people know this, everyone understands this, things are temporary, but when it comes to really being in it,
Mm-hmm.
that and especially again coming back to being the person who created it, and now you're saying, okay, I need to roll this out, I need to destroy this in order to make something new. It doesn't mean that anything was wrong or any failure happened. It's just time for energy to go somewhere else.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing this expression. My husband's an actor, and I'm hearing this expression that I asked him, "Who said that? Who can I like give the credit for the quote to?" And the quote is, "Simplify in order to amplify." And it was an acting teacher who said it, and I can't remember who he said it, but it was like it was an acting class. I'm like, what a brilliant thing to say. And I don't know if they took that expression from someone else. Maybe it came from, somebody else. But it makes so much sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, letting go is like, and allowing like an ending to come, it really is like one of the simplest things to do. Like, but we make it so hard, you know? Like, I think that's why it's funny that like the Frozen kids movie, with that song, Let It Go. And it's
Mm-hmm.
so funny because it is like learning to let go and learning to like realize that nothing is permanent is such a like deep spiritual practice to do, but it is really like the easiest thing to do. But we get in the way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I I also think how we end things is
Mhm.
also coming up as you all talk about this, and how
Yeah.
we end things can be in so many different ways in the world, right? We can be really gentle about it. We can sort of be really explosive about it, right? And there's so many different ways that we can do it, and I think it's different for each person, and it's really interesting where, when you do end something, everybody has a different opinion about it or has a different experience about it. And so, I've been thinking about this lately too, of like why maybe there, because of that, maybe there are reasons why I don't end things, right? Or because I, even just taking a look at this before we even got on this live, it's like, there's a lot of things that come up, right? For other people, you don't want, there's the pressures, even though you're a spiritual person, you handle energy, right? And so it's like, you don't want to disappoint people. You don't want to, hurt anybody and whatever it is, right? And so in an ending, um, there's this evolution that can happen and over time over your life, and like you just get better and better at it, I think, too. You can, at least, right? And sometimes maybe other people's opinions or other people's experiences, it doesn't mean that they don't matter, but it's more of like, why are you ending things? And then also like, how do you actually make that happen in your life? And so that's what I've kind of also been thinking about, like, have I been holding back, or have I been, um, or maybe I ended things too early,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Those kinds of things that kind of come up in endings. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
And
interesting. It goes back to what you said in the beginning about emotions, right? Because when there are other people involved, then you're not only like trying to just end it and go to the next thing for yourself, but then you've got all these other people's emotions that are involved in it,
Hmm.
And that's what I run into too with like ending things is definitely other like guilt. Guilt is a good classic emotion for me, Yeah.
a good
Guilt,
classic
shame.
emotion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
guilt,
I know that
shame,
one.
sadness. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and look at all the endings we've all experienced in our lives, like graduating from a whatever level of school. That was a celebration, but it was bittersweet because then it meant everybody had to change and you had to go try something, you had to go start something new, even if you couldn't wait to get out of whatever you were in, you know? I mean,
Hmm.
there's so many things that, and we teach this as creating and destroying, as some of the psychic tools we teach and energy tools. You can't make anything new if you don't end an old thing that might just need to transform. I don't see that it's necessarily that, and the academy is done. Yes, it is, but at the end of this month, as I am informed by William in an email. And I love that because I think it's really important to see, like the line is right there. We are all going to be offline as the academy. But that means that we have the space and the energy that we all put into that to funnel into other things, to create in other ways. And it's beautiful. And we're all still going to be finding ways that we do things together as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
As opposed to like think of the endings that just sort of like slid. They just kept not ending, just like, ooh, and then it turns into mud.
Mm-hmm.
This is clear and sharp and direct and like really defined. And I like that very much.
Yeah. On the flip side, I think sometimes things end on their own without you wanting them to end, right? I think
Right.
there's like a whole thing about like it energy will end it for you if you if you don't do it, and it's a and
Yeah.
you're in your truth, and you're like I like and but you resist and you don't want to end something, and it just ends for you sometimes. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
If you're not willing to take the step, I think the spirit of you is like, well, I guess we're just going to end this without you
I guess we're
without
going to
you
do it the
saying.
hard way for
Yeah, we're
you.
just going to do it the hard way, right? Which is fine, right? That's one way to learn on this planet. Like, I think that's a really interesting experience to have, and it's happened to me so many times in my life, and it's actually again sort
Yeah.
of making me better and better at like having choice, right? And consciously ending something versus it happening to me,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, yeah, like, or you can see endings coming and be like, oh, is that something that I want, right? And so there's just a lot of like, yeah, there's just a lot of choices that you get back when you're consciously, yeah, when you're consciously looking at something and be like, is this something that I want to end, or is this something that I want to keep doing? Like, there's just a lot of things that come up.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think when it does, even if it does happen to you, like you still have that choice to be like, okay, well, this is how I'm going to respond to it, and this is how I'm going to move forward and create something else, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is what makes it so fun too, because yes, you do get to choose a little bit more consciously the next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's funny. I'm thinking of like all these things, especially in my early, like when I was a really dumb 20 something, and just like things that I did where I'm like, oh, that was a rough lesson, but I was stubborn about it. I would never
Mhm.
do it that way now. It's so
Mhm.
funny. And hey, everybody who's joined, who's watching this live, thank you for being here. I'm starting to see the live chat come in, and hello to everyone. Really, really appreciate it. Any last? I mean, we can start wrapping this up. Anybody have any
Mhm.
last minute last thoughts or ideas or things you want to say?
Well, now after saying everything that I've said, I am looking forward to just in general to sort of continue to be in this ending energy, and then being able to step into something new, that really more like resonates with who I am today, right? Instead of trying to go back and try to become something that I was or whatever it is, like I'm excited to continue to move forward in life just as of today, feeling like I can move forward and be more me. And so I'm excited for the new beginning after the ending, right?
And I want to say, Ryan, I'm really grateful to you for how much energy you held because you've been really the one kind of holding the clairvoyant training space. So you've kind of held more than some of the others and some of us because you've been doing that. And I just bet you're going to get a huge amount of energy back.
I'm excited for that.
It's coming.
Endings are fun, everybody. Endings are great.
You just get like your energy back too. Like it's not that anything was wrong. It's just simply it takes energy to create anything.
Mhm.
And you have done an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Same to all of you, and same to everybody that we've worked with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And Kate, I really appreciate you too, because it's been so much fun to work with you and watch you grow and become a teacher. And I think you're
Yeah.
great.
I know it's been amazing. It's been super amazing. Yeah, it was all kind of really difficult for me in the beginning, but then this is, us still being connected and like some things are ending, but other thing, it's like it is just that creativity. So thank you both. Yeah.
Anything else? And you're welcome. But anything else you want to
Uh, the other thing that I was just going to add, just based kind of on what Ryan was saying, which is so cool, but kind of like, as this like spiritual community is ending and you're like talking about how cool, like, or you're just processing it. I think one thing that I've been thinking about as this is ending, because this is sort of like I don't know if it's like sort of the symbol for my like spirituality right now in a way. It's just the place that I've been working at. But like what I think is so cool about it is it's kind of like a spiritual thing, right? But then in my body, I feel like going through the training of ending or going through like the process of sort of this ending, I think is helping me end things in the body. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any, you don't have to, no pressure, but if you have a specific example, because everybody listening to this, whether it's live now or later, gets it.
I know. It's just like so many personal things. Like, I have this like idea. I mean, some of it's like relationships or like just, you know, ways of living or where I'm living or things like that. But also, even just like, sometimes I have this idea that I just want to like get rid of all my stuff like before I die. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like just stuff like that. Like, I do think about that a lot. And then even just having like older parents and thinking about all the stuff that like I'm thinking of literal stuff, that you have to let go of. Yeah. So
People
I think
too. Yeah, people
people
and stuff.
stuff. The list goes on and on. So yeah, I think going through this experience sort of in the spiritual space will help my body with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm already feeling that energy, like the relief of not having to hold the space the same way, because I was always, I think, held a lot of energy and didn't need to, but I did it. And I'm doing it differently. Like it's helping me create the classes and things that I'm teaching on my own in a somewhat different way. And I bet I'll be doing some live ones too. I mean, in person is what I mean, because I
Mm.
have found a space and a woman who runs a kids art school here in Atlanta who's awesome. And she's really into me coming in and, I can rent part of her space to do some of my things. So we'll see. I mean, for adults, she has
Okay,
adult
I'm like, are you
classes.
going to work with kids?
But I'm not interested in teaching kids anymore. She's got the kid thing going. I'm like, no, there are adult classes too. So when that happens,
Yeah.
I'll start talking about it. But that's that. I'm really
Very
looking at that. It's been
I'm
years since I've taught a lot in person.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, to be in person and to teach in that way. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited you sparked something, Kate, and I'm excited at some point we should come back and do another live about spiritual community, because I think
Yeah.
that's a really awesome topic
Yes.
to talk about, because the three of us have a lot of experience around that, and I think we should talk a lot more about that, because
That
Are
would
you
be
talking
awesome.
about the horror stories too?
all of it. Yeah, the pros and cons of spiritual community.
There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of pros.
Yeah. And I think
Definitely.
it's a big topic in
It's a
the
huge
world right
topic.
now. Yeah, like I think like people are feeling like, and I don't want to speak for people, but in general, I think people feel like they're a little bit not turned off, but more of like, I don't know who to trust or what to
Yeah.
trust right
Yep.
now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think it's like kind of the world right now. And so I think just talking about that would be really helpful, I think, for people.
Let's
Yeah.
do it let's make another date and we'll do
Yeah.
that. That
Yeah.
sounds great.
Cool.
Well, we're going to call this one an end. And I'm really happy we got to talk about this. This really
Yeah.
feels good. So thank you, everybody who has been here. And I see people saying hello and great topic and timely. And thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Dr. Hahn. Just really great. Thank you all. Thanks, Janice, for being here. Letitia. I mean, everyone who's showed up. But I'm going to say goodbye. So,
All right.
yeah, we're calling this an
Thanks,
ending
everybody.
for this.
An ending. Yes.
But there'll be another one. So thank you all and have fun. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.